The people of Burkina Faso must forget about democracy. That's Capt Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of the country's ruling junta. Traore initially pledged to restore democratic rule to the West African country by July 2024, but 2 months before this deadline, the junta announced it would extend its rule for another 5 years. Could this be a sign that he intends to rule long-term? Find out in our cover report.
Démocratie tue. Voir le monde.
Burkina Faso's military leader, who seized power in a coup in September 2022, told journalists that people need to forget about democracy and that democracy kills, the latest sign he aims to rule for the long term. Ibrahim Traoré's military government had originally committed to organizing an election in 2024. But a year after the coup, he said there would be no elections until the country, which has struggled for more than a decade to contain Islamist insurgencies linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, was safe enough for everyone to vote. When asked about elections during a roundtable with journalists aired on state TV, Traoré said his administration was focused on other challenges.
No, we are not even talking about election. We have challenges. We have to take them on. That is what we stick to. We are not going to bend even a little. People have to forget the question of democracy, and that is a job. We have to tell them the truth. Democracy is not for us.
The country's stated transition to democratic rule, initiated after the first coup in January 2022, was scheduled to end in July 2024. But the junta that year decided to extend the transition period by 5 years, allowing Traoré to remain at the helm of the country, plagued by jihadist violence that has claimed thousands of lives for nearly 10 years. The United Nations has urged Burkina Faso to reverse the decision to ban political parties and stop the repression of civic space. Since coming to power, the junta, which is hostile to Western countries and particularly France, has banned or suspended numerous international media outlets and expelled some of their journalists.
Democracy kills. That's what democracy is. Is that what we want? Look at Libya. It's an example next to us. They were living in peace. Water was free. There were so many free things. When people got married, they already had social benefits and everything. But today, some of the Libyans walk around everywhere with containers looking for water. Look at the misery there. How many hundreds of thousands of children have died? Is that democracy? Everywhere they want to install democracy in the word, it's in blood.
Traoré's government has even been accused of punishing critics by sending them to the front lines of the war against Islamist militants. Despite this, Traoré has gained a huge following across the continent for his Pan-Africanist vision and criticism of Western influence.
Ouvre les yeux, vois le monde.
We have come to completely change the way things function, but above all, mindsets, so that people open their eyes to see the world, and so that we no longer fall into those pitfalls.
Burkina Faso, like its junta-led neighbors Mali and Niger, has moved away from working with Western countries, especially France, in its fight against Islamist militants, which have waged a decade-long insurgency in the region. All three have instead turned towards Russia for military assistance, but the violence has continued unabated. A report by Human Rights Watch says more than 1,800 civilians have been killed in Burkina Faso since Traoré seized power in 2023. The publication attributes 2/3 of the killings to the military and allied militias, with the rest blamed on Islamist militants. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.